Ernest the engine car was looking glum. "What's up?" said Stevie the steam train. "I've had a complaint," said Ernest. "A complaint? From who?" said Stevie. "The fat controller," said Ernest. "What's the fat controller complaining about this time?" asked Stevie, who stuttered badly at the most inappropriate of moments. "Being called the fat controller," said Ernest. "We can't call the fat controller a fat controller anymore," said Stevie, whose stutter seemed to be getting worse. "No," said Ernest. "Then what are we supposed to call the fat controller?" asked Stevie. "The big controller," said Ernest. "We're supposed to call the fat controller a big controller," said Stevie. "Yes," replied Ernest. "Oh," said Stevie. "I feel like a right shunt." Ernest the engine car had been listening in on all the commuting wankers talking loudly on their mobile phones when he announced a plan. "I'm going to become a dot-com millionaire." "How can an engine become a dot-com millionaire?" asked Stevie the steam train. "By becoming a search engine," said Ernest. "That's where people ask you to find something on the internet. You go off and make a list, and then everyone just ends up looking at hardcore pornography instead. Any engine can do it," he added. "You just have to be familiar with the World Wide Web." "Oh," said Stevie. "I don't like spiders. They make me curse. And spiders on any web wide enough to stretch across the whole world are going to be big for cursing. I can tell you that now," he concluded, as always, stuttering badly at the most inappropriate moments. "Come on," insisted Ernest. "Give me a try. What would you like me to look for?" "Look for cunts! Look for cunts! Look for cunts! Look for Constable, the great British landscape painter," said Stevie, who it turned out had an interest in romantic art. But it was too late. Keen to prove that he was just as fast as Google, Ernest had taken off before Stevie had even finished. "Oh dear," thought Stevie. "I should have stuck with pussy." Gail, the guard's compartment, went off for her morning run, leaving Ernest the engine car and Stevie the steam train all alone in the train yard. This was the chance Ernest had been waiting for. "Stevie," said Ernest, "I need some advice." "You can go to hell. You can go to helplines and get much better advice than I could give you," said Stevie, who stuttered badly at the most inappropriate of moments. "You went out with Gail, the guard's compartment," started Ernest. "I pulled her once," said Stevie. "I was hoping to forget all about it," said Stevie. "It was a disaster." "Well, I want to ask her out," confessed Ernest. "Perhaps if you describe what went wrong, I can avoid making the same mistakes." "Well," said Stevie, "when I got there, she was waiting for me outside. She invited me in and showed me round. I said, 'You've got a big ass. You've got a big Arsenal Football Club souvenir collection,'" said Stevie. "Oh dear," said Ernest. "Then I asked Gail if she'd let me look up her Arsenal website, because it turns out she runs a fan club. She has a very loose Arsenal souvenir cataloguing system, though." "Oh," said Ernest. "Then what happened?" "She said, 'I hope you're taking me somewhere nice,'" said Stevie. "Then I asked her if she'd like to come back to my place." "Did you?" said Ernest. "She said, 'I'm not going to sleep with you if that's what you're thinking.' I said, 'Well then just fuck off, just for coffee,'" struggled Stevie. "I see," said Ernest. "But she said she had an early start," said Stevie. "Then she said, 'I'm free this weekend though, what are you up to?' I said, 'Wanking, when can we get together?' She said, 'Actually, I think I'll pass.' And for the life of me, I don't know why." One day, Ernest the engine car and Stevie the steam train noticed Gail, the guard's compartment, looking particularly broody, even by her usually militant feminist standards. "What's on your mind?" Ernest ventured, in the mood for a bit of leso-baiting.
"I'm trying to decide on a pet,"
said Gail.
"What I really want is a baby," she admitted. "But I can't conceive."
Stevie the steam train decided to contribute.
"What you need is a big black cock, a big black cock, a big black cock, a big black cocker spaniel,"
he said, as usual stuttering badly at the most inappropriate of moments.
"Or if you can't accommodate a big black cock, a big black cock, a big black cocker spaniel, how about a small white cock, a small white cock, a small white cockatoo? Mind you, I've gone off feathered, friends," he continued, unwisely. "Ever since I were on the internet and I saw a bird with a mouth full of cock, a mouth full of cock, a mouth full of cockroaches."
By now, Gail was feeling a little ill.
"Perhaps you could suggest a bird without cock in it?"
"That rules out Paris Hilton," quipped Ernest, hoping for a spot on the glass house, or, failing that, spicks and specks.
How about an even smaller yellow cock, an even smaller yellow cockatiel?
Continued Stevie.
That's hardly a bird at all.
Forget it,
said Gale.
I think I'll just adopt.
Ernest the engine car and Stevie the steam train noticed Gale the guard's compartment was looking unhappy. Why the long face? Said Ernest.
Guard's compartment is just another way of saying rear end,
moped Gale.
I'm a big fat ass.
She told me she was having body image issues,
said Stevie, who only ever stuttered at inappropriate moments.
I think she's got the painters in.
Stevie was right. It was that time of the month when Gale was due for another coat of paint.
I'm fat and unattractive,
she moped.
Fat cunts till it comes and goes.
Stevie tried to reassure her, his stutter not helping one bit.
You'll be slim again before you know it.
So you do think I'm fat?
Help,
said Stevie, hoping Ernest would jump in. You're on your own, said Ernest. Stevie thought quickly.
100 people fall down the gap between the train and the platform every year,
he said.
If you really were fat, there wouldn't be a gap now, would there?
But Gale was having none of it.
If I was thin enough, they'd all fall down the gap.
Ernest decided he had to do something.
I see you trying on a shed,
Ernest said to distract her. It worked. Gale was distracted.
Yes,
said Gale.
Does my rear compartment look big in it?
Help,
said Ernest.
You're on your own,
said Stevie. Ernest the engine car was in a bad mood. I hate truck people, said Ernest. I beg your pardon, said Stevie the steam train. I hate truck people, Ernest repeated gruffly.
You can't say that,
said Stevie, who always stuttered badly at inappropriate moments.
That's racist.
I'm not racist, said Ernest. I just hate truck people.
Hating a truck person just because his truck is the very definition of racism,
Stevie countered. I don't hate trucks because they're truck, argued Ernest. I hate trucks because they come here and they take our jobs.
Trucks are nothing but trouble,
he grumbled.
Turn on the news, what do you see? Trucks breaking the law. Whole families wiped out by out-of-control trucks. Trucks are nothing but bad news. Name one good thing that trucks have given us. Trucks have given us rock and roll,
enthused Stevie.
And it's a well-known fact that trucks sound better and move better and look better than us.
Oh, I get it, said Ernest. You're one of those train guys that wishes he was a truck. Next thing you'll be using truck lingo.
For conservation reasons, I'm glad I'm a train,
said Stevie, his stutter proving highly distracting.
I just admire truck culture. Breaker, do your copy.
Ernest was tired of verbal jousting, and without hands or feet he couldn't kick Stevie's ass. We'll just have to agree to disagree then.
Fine, said Stevie. You had me really worried, though. At first, I thought you said you hated black people.
Oh, said Ernest. I hate black people as well.
Ernest the engine car had finally cracked.
Get out of the f***ing way,
he said, to no one in particular.
F***ing move it! Get off the f***ing road! Ernest,
said Stevie the steam train.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, said Ernest.
I'm just practicing my road rage. I'm fed up with public transport. I'm always late, so I'm getting a car with a big booming stereo and a number plate that says CHXDGGT. Wanker, 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 wanker. When cars break down, they're very expensive to fix,
said Stevie, who always stuttered badly at inappropriate moments.
And how will you even fit in a car? I'll get the biggest four-wheel drive I can find, said Ernest. Oh, so you're planning on being a country driver,
said Stevie, his stutter not getting any better.
Oh, no,
said Ernest.
I'll just be driving it round the city. Oh, said Stevie. So you'll just be looking like a cunt, looking like a country driver, and driving like a cunt, driving like a country driver, and parking like a cunt, parking like a country driver. And everyone else who sees you will think there's a real cunt, there's a real country driving experience that he's missing out on. I don't care what anyone else thinks, said Ernest. Then a four-wheel drive is perfect, said Stevie. But aren't you worried about being stuck in traffic? Not at all, said Ernest. I'll be using the bus lane.